match, and it's December. A lot has happened. I was gone for some months, and now it's time for Team Battle Deluxe. This is the first match, and it's a similar event to Team Battle Royale that we had in August. So it's also played with 4 teams and anonymous accounts. There's some differences. Every night at 20 CET in the next 27 days, we're going to have one match, and every team can seat one player. So this is the first one, and hopefully it's going to be a good one. And yeah, Zoom commands not we consider to implement them as on V3C, but there were some challenges, so we had to we had to postpone that plan. So what do we have here? We have one human player in the bottom right, and he's going for, okay, no fancy rifleman build, just standard as it seems. We have one elf here, and he's going for late altar, so we won't see a demon hunter here. That's good to see. I am not a big fan of to watch demon hunter, except if it's like trunk strat. That's fun to watch, but I feel if you play demon hunter first and then like panda second, it's not bad, but it's not what, like, I don't really like it. I don't really like opsing it as much. So we have an undead here, Fiend BO and late altar, so no quest fast tech here. And then last but not least, another elf here, also similar build, like blue, also late altar. And it's interesting. And Ina might join me in a second, so let's see. So yeah, looking forward to this. Really long time since I've watched some competitive FFA, and yeah, I'm in the mood. It's almost Christmas, and due to lockdown, there's not that much else to do anyway. So I'm happy to watch some FFA, and I'm intentionally selected a lot of smaller maps this season, or at least not all of the huge maps, just to protect myself from 3 and 4 hour matches, since that can be really exhausting if you're going to stream them. Beastmaster here for blue, unusual for sure, but it's fun, especially if he gets him to high levels, which I'm always surprised how some players can make any hero work, because Beastmaster is one of these heroes that I personally, if I play it, it's just like, it feels dumb. It's great if you make it to the late game and you can harass with all your summons, and you basically don't need units anymore. In Hero Arena, you have scouting, you have damage, you have even stun. But in early fights, it like he feels useless. There's just not much he can do except his summons. So everyone getting up their first expo.
A player's forces are under attack.
And Tinker for purple Also my hero of choice. So versatile, very, very strong AoE. Best base race hero, arguably. And also in robo form, apparently can't be targeted by spells. And most spells, all spells? I mean, there are some spells that work, but only a few. Yeah, pretty slow tech here for this undead. Not used to see that. Normally we have undeads with very, very quick techs. So it's interesting and usually played, I would say, I mean, all players that participate this season have some experience in FFA, so it's not that we see some entirely new players here as we did in some of the recent or previous events where you could just never be sure if the player maybe had only limited FFA experience, but here it's a player, I guess. I mean, it's in this season, if a player plays these fiends, he surely knows what he's doing. And because there are ways to make it work, and yeah, we saw some very interesting stuff with fiends in the past, and it's just very easy to creep, and that's something undeads regularly struggle with if they go for quest BO. So if you play quest BO, you need to have a super solid strategy throughout the game. Like everything needs to be on point until late game, like until you have your economy and you have your heroes on a certain level, but you're just super vulnerable in like once you get your heroes out, but you're just so far behind in levels usually, and it takes some time to catch up, and it's not always easy to punish it against players that are used to playing quest BO, but many aren't, so it's not that easy to make it work. Very, well, comparatively early creeping here of this mid, which are like obviously very important creep spots to get, and there was no chat at all, basically, not even a good luck have fun. So yes, by default you would go clockwise unless you want to offend someone immediately. Then you go counterclockwise and just maybe even try to get 2 expos, but obviously that will get, or that the player that goes without expo in that case will try to immediately punish you for that. Panda second here for orange. Very common second hero for human, and arguably the best. I still think Mountain King in most scenarios on most maps is slightly better, but I would say the bigger the map, the easier it is the better it is with a panda, because it's just so easy for humans with mass gold and mass TP to destroy main bases with Breath of Fire, and to just I mean, 100 supply of human armies are just devastating anyways, and Mountain King, if you're fighting with a full 100 supply army, Mountain Kings are just adding less to that compared to a panda. Like if you have a panda on top of that, there are very few fights that you will lose if you have such an army as a human player. So, and if you have decent levels, of course, and decent economy. Level 4 DK, but yeah, of course only level 1 Lich at this point. Attacked very late. He's adding Gargs now. Interesting. We'll try to sneak the experience here, gets it, and getting contested by the human. I'm not sure if that's really a good call here by him, but I mean, maybe it is, but I'm not sure if he can. I mean, he won't be able to kill much here anyway, so. Okay, who gets the dragon? I feel it won't be the human, will it? Both players trying to get it, but this dragon's so tough to kill if you only have like 1-2 units that attack air and no web yet. And I don't see the human creeping this either. Yeah, both won it. And I'm not sure this is really worth the time, but maybe it is. Of course they want the item, but really not that sure it's worth it. Yeah, this dragon is is going to the unnet player. It's pretty easy for unnet to creep it once you get these 3 to 4 gargs out. And spell shield here. I was about to say, I mean, it's still, I mean, it's the best item in the game, but of course it would have been much better for either of the elves or even the human who's going to face the undead nuke. Against the human, it's not really, against the human without MK, it's not really that useful. Although there's a paladin, so I guess it's okay. We see the first fight here, and the first fight on top. Purple trying to steal the golem here, which he already got that one right. I can check. So we have a 52 supply army left here for the elf, with a level 4.5 beastmaster here, and the human is kind of struggling. Only gyros, and gyros are doing nothing here, and archers are actually a pretty good counter against gyros. So the human will live, but yeah. More hippos arriving at the scene. And all these pauses. An interesting decision here to mount the hippos, because as we see here, there are gyros, so I think the archers will be much better off to be on ground. And yeah, human will be able to push back. Well, I think it was a good attack still. Elf going up to 82 and probably going to attack Teal here. Teal also 63 already. What's he going for? He has just 3 crypts. Of course, on this map you don't have as much army or as much gold early on. And first fight here on the top, at the top, and this is looking pretty grim for the undead. He needs to get out. ASAP, nice staff on the panda. And yeah, not sure why the undead took that fight. It must have been clear to him that he needed to TP out anyways, and there was no more creep left, so I feel this was a big mistake by that undead. And now he will need to heal up. Chimera's coming maybe a bit late here, but should be fine. I don't really see that undead. Ooh. And that keeper is dying. Very unfortunate here, and the elf pushing without the chimeras. Interesting decision. I would have waited personally, because yeah, undead with AoE spells can deal a lot of damage, and he had the mana despite having low HP. But yeah, elf was doing a good job here still, dealing some damage. Might be able to kill the Dreadlord. Okay, he's passing the Ankh. Oh, and he's not focusing, is he? He's not focusing on the Dreadlord. Maybe because of the Ankh, but... yeah, this is looking pretty grim for the undead, isn't it? Maybe not. Back and forth here. Undead down to basically 0 gold, and the elf still with 2k. He's not producing as quickly. Yeah, his macro is slipping. He's not producing.
Player's forces are under attack.
77 supply here. 77 supply, 4 orange and 84 blue. 1 mountain giant. Mountain giants are pretty nice. And the elf will get some experience here by killing all these gyros, I believe, but that should be it. I don't really think more is going to happen here before the elf has to TP out, because there's almost no damage to ground. Priest is level 2, obviously, like he could just leave her at home. There's not much for her to do here. Ooh, nice breath of fire on these hippos. And yeah, not even killing. Ooh. Wow, that was level 5. He got one gyro in the end. Interesting fight here between the undead and the elf. I think our rocket's so strong. The stun on all these gargs is very, very dangerous, and that's it for Teal. That was, yeah, that was a quick one, and I mean that was a good example of why I think why undeads usually play Quest BO, because undeads rely on their hero levels so strongly, and all these units early game cannot really, like, all these units that you get early game are just so weak late game. Like all these fiends, unless you really heavily commit and go like full scale fiend, huge army late game or fiend push, they scale very badly. So undead relies so strongly on heroes that yeah, you have a great advantage by getting the Lich out a bit earlier, and therefore you need to get fewer units and attack a bit quicker. Because especially against Elf here, Elf with Tinker and Panda has such strong AoE against Gargs that yeah, it's tricky. If Elf has decent levels, and of course Elf can creep pretty well early on with Engine of War, then if you get Fiends early on, you just won't get enough Gargs quickly to match up with the Hippos plus the Elf AoE, so yeah. Easy out here for... It was even. Yeah, I'm not sure. And yeah, immediate attack by Orange. He did not drop to 50, so he has an army. And... oh, yeah, and... both players attacking him here. Always feels bad if you win your one-on-one. And he didn't even have to do that much for winning it. But immediately getting attacked by both other players now, so yeah, very difficult to recover here.
A player's forces are under attack.
This is a nice attack from the back here by Purple. What's he doing? What's Orange doing here? Must have been like a misclick by Orange to send his army here. Maybe it was to protect them from the chimeras, but then he shouldn't have flown in with the gyros. Yeah, it's good manip by Purple now. He needs to, yeah, I mean, it's all he can do in this situation. He's down to 0 expos. Main mine soon running dry, so there's really not that much he can do on his own. He's, yeah, he's very reliant on blue now, and of course blue can take the left side of the map, so it strongly depends on blue's confidence. If blue thinks he can win against orange on his own, and it's not necessarily a reason for him to help. And purple is doing really well here. It's getting plenty of kills. Of course, yeah. There's So what's blue doing? Blue soon on 4 expos and orange on 3, so not that big of a difference here. So is blue helping now, or is blue just trying to get some tome of XP?
A player's forces are under a town is under siege.
Okay, he is attacking orange, and I think that's a good call because he is really not that rich, and also his hero levels are kind of weak, and his heroes in general are not that strong against human. So no. Okay, some tension. First game. Yeah, I mean, if you realize someone based on their playstyle, I wouldn't necessarily call someone out, but yeah, I don't really think there is a reason not to if you play in a such recognizable manner. Oh, and he harassed, or someone harassed in that peasant line here. At least purple is on 50 supply, but will take some time for him to utilize or to benefit from that and get these expos up. Almost level 6 Archmage, so there's going to be some mass TP soon. But of course the longer it takes now, the better it's going to be for blue, because he has all these mines here that can only be reached quickly with mass TP. So the longer he can camp here, the better it's going to be for him. He's on 5k gold already against 5k for orange and just the 600 for purple. Orange trying to manip his way to victory here. He could easily just take a fight against blue. I don't really think that there's any reason not to. There's not even a panda here, so blue has absolutely zero AoE against air. So Gyros should be able to kill all this elf air pretty quickly, unless the elf has a massive number of hippos. And yeah, as we see here, I mean, if you kite well with these gyros and if you have a panda on top, there's just no way these hippos are going to kill any of them. Yeah, this is just this is so painful. I'm not sure why you would play this hero combination. I mean, it's maybe fun in some situations, but it's surely not fun against Mess Gyros nor Mess Skarks. Says the nasty P player. Very action-packed match so far.
Town is under siege.
And I'm not sure if I like the call by Orange to just randomly harass here, but maybe that's not his intention. Just scout, I don't know. Does he want to drop? No. Yeah, I'm not sure if he should attack purple. I mean, if he wants purple to stop, then it's not really a reason. Alright, so they are piecing. That will be some time for purple to recover now. And he's the only player on 50 supply. No, that's not correct. Blue is also on 50, so... What's he talking about? There's absolutely no indication that blue is going to attack purple, but I mean, it might be mana, but I'm not sure if it's a good one. Blue almost up to 15k compared to just 6k for orange, and orange is on 80 supply, but I'm not sure. Is he really going to attack purple now? He's not.
A player's forces are under attack. Under siege. A player's forces are under attack.
Now, blue going back up to... I think it's fair to say that it's gradient. I mean, he basically admitted it himself, so gradient is going up to 80 now, and that was some wonderful hoarding here by him on 4 mines, getting ahead in gold. He's still lacking levels heavily, and of course hero quality is also an issue. I mean, once he gets to level 666, of course, all these ultimates can be very, very strong, especially that since there is no stun for on the human side except the Panda, Earth, Storm, and Fire. So some real potential here, but it's a long way for him to get there. Oh, and mistake here by Orange, I feel. Going up to a high upkeep makes no sense if you're attacking. I mean, not even if you would attack on his own, I guess it won't make too much sense, but if you attack together, there's absolutely no reason to waste that much gold. Never mind, he has no more mine, so whatever. Forget what I said. But yeah, he will need to get another mine. 5k is really not that much gold. He blew a lot of gold, and I'm not really sure how. And blue is just a free tome of the tome of XP at this point. Ooh, this is so painful. At least he's getting away from the tanks. Not anymore. Okay, he's TPing. But that was a really bad, really bad fight for blue. And he still hasn't leveled up with the priestess, so. And Orange is under heavy pressure now because he is the only one without no, not right. Yeah, but he's the only one not mining anymore. Oh, and we see a mass TP into the main base of purple. He's flying in too far with the gyros, but still, I think he has enough of them to deal a lot of damage here. Yeah, he needs to rocket and breath of fire these tanks or these gyros without flying in with the air units. Orange not getting that much done here. But now he's diving. And these gyros need to die first. And blue is attacking orange main base in the meantime. Ooh, and all these gyros are pretty low HP, so pretty devastating attack here. Wow! What a kill. All these gyros dying, and I'm not sure why he's staying that long. Like, there's not much more to kill here, and in the meantime yeah, castle down, so that's it with tanks. No more tanks, and with 4.5k I don't think he will ever get back to tanks. Mass TP cancel, and he can't get a new TP, so Yeah, and
Town is under siege. Players' forces are under attack.
okay, blue is on everyone now. Or gradient is on everyone now. So let's see, 10k for gradient, 2k for the human, and 6k for purple, so difficult to say who's going to win here. Obviously Gradient is extremely experienced in these situations in base race, and he has good heroes for that. Beastmaster and Keeper super annoying, and also Priestess super annoying to be up against in base race scenarios. But he's up against Mass TP, and of course Mass TP is by far, maybe not by far, but is definitely the best spell in FFA. So yeah, and I don't see, I mean,
Players' forces are
yeah,
under attack.
the human has not that much left here. I'm not even sure why he's getting farms. What?
Town is under siege.
Oh, and another stampede here. And his second and third heroes leveled quite well in the last 10 minutes. So now with protection spell and war, he's reigning supreme in the air. But still, yeah, with the human armies here in the back, I'm not sure he should stay in this for too long, but yeah, stepping out, getting some more kills here, and I guess that was a good fight here for him still, despite losing some supply. 5k gold and 46 supply left. I mean, all three players have amazing base race heroes, so if I was them, I would, like, maybe blue doesn't have to necessarily because he has a huge main base still, but I mean, I would definitely prepare for base race with any of these hero combinations, because there's, like, with these heroes, these levels, in this kind of situation on a map like this, it's always a way to win if you play it well. And that's the beauty of FFA also, that it's like, it's really never over until it's over. So in this situation there are a million ways to play it. Hello?
Hello, good evening. High Tech. Here is Mr. Inner.
I wonder who that might be.
Yes, you thought I'm not here, but we
You
had
are,
a call.
you-
We started like half an hour ago or whatever.
We started 45 minutes ago, yeah, but that's fine.
So, good evening to everyone. I don't know what's the current state of the game, but we have a team match here and 4 players are playing against each other. I am a scout leader of one of those players.
Yes,
A town is under siege.
and it's already basically revealed. Your player revealed himself almost because he was called out or his name was called out by one of the other players, and then
He
Gradient
just replied with why.
Gradient forced and asked for ban for revealing his name. So
I see.
I guess that's what you get by playing his style, but he's playing really, really well. Of course, with this hero combination, he had a hard time early game, but now with decent levels. He's in a good spot, I would say.
Is it the animal style? Is it the Beastmaster?
Yeah, of course.
Ah, Gradient, I love this guy. Oh god. He cannot stop this. There's a reason why I wanted him in my...
Yeah, it's great to watch in these situations. I mean, on bigger maps, it can be quite exhausting because he's sometimes not willing to fight and he just sits. But on a map like Fountain, it's and especially if he doesn't play like Trunks Hero Combo or something, it's really nice to watch him play his style. And we see here, despite like they're not coordinating their teaming overly well, so the human is super broke, just 100 gold, no castle, and he has mass TP, but still it should be rather easy for blue to base race. I would say either of these players alone. Now they're teaming him, so I'm not sure. Yeah, let's see. I mean, if purple is trying to hold gold back here, I think Gradient might win this, so definitely looking good.
Yeah, I think Gradient has a good shot, but there's still, like, looking at the numbers, there's still a realistic chance for any of those players to win.
For sure, either of these players can win. I would say despite mass TP, the human has the worst chances. He's surrounded here by the other two players, and he has least buildings.
No main.
And he's human, so it's more difficult to hide buildings. So against these two strong base race hero combinations, I would favor the elves, but we'll see. And also I know who these players are and what their strengths are. So
yeah, well, that's an advantage for you. Well, let's see if they will together with their heroes kill some. I don't think they killed any unit yet. One hippo died.
Yeah, it's so nice without, like, especially for someone like Radiant or me, it's so nice that Chimeras have no friendly fire on bears anymore. That's such a... I think that really adds up because you almost lose one bear per fight.
Yeah.
So it's really, really nice to not have that anymore, although I was against that change, but whatever. Ooh, and the panda! Will it die? Oof, that was kind of close.
Actually, those two players have done a great job. Looking at the numbers, they killed a lot. Like Radiant lost 25-76 supply.
Yeah.
He lost 30.
Yeah, staying in for too long, but also I think in relation, yeah, I still think it's fine, but yeah, he's down to 5k gold, so surely lost a lot of gold here.
He definitely lost more gold than those players. Those players.
Yeah, far more. I'm not sure if I mean, in this situation, I personally would not even take that fight because I think it's nonsense. If the other two players have such small main bases only, I think it's always the better call to go for. In this case, I would always go for the human base because it's closer to you, and the elf can mass TP to help him. So I would always try to put pressure on the human so he can mass TP around but needs to defend. And that's not really what he's going for, but maybe now.
Yeah, the issue is I was thinking about this. I think you spoke about splitting Chims. Sorry if not. If he wants to split Chims, that would be dangerous on the human base at least, because there's something I just explored.
I will not. I would never split Chims in this situation against a human main base like this, because like gyros are too easy to keep somewhere and too easy to produce. So chimeras are. I would do that against the elf main base here. I guess I might do that. But yeah, the human with these gyros, I think, has a good defense against the chimeras, but not against summons.
Yeah, summons is something that's really helpful in such games, and Gradient knows his strategies. He knows the reasons why he's playing his strategies.
Yeah, and he's back to 100.
Yeah.
So I was missing that he Of course, he was already producing again while that fight was not yet over. So he's still on 3k, but back to 100 supply. So good call by him. And yeah, if he kills this town hall, then the human will be revealed kind of soon. There's no more gold for, unless he sells some items. Yeah, there will be no more way to hide, and there are really not that many buildings left. So
I mean, Gradient can just stay at his main and use to get rid of buildings.
yeah, I think he should have done that. Now TP. I mean,
Oh, the panda. I like the fairy dragons, by the way.
yeah,
Because
great
they are magic
addition.
immune.
Yeah, against so much AoE, I think it's a must-have, and also good against Dryads, and yeah, good to res. Ooh, what the fuck? That was so close. I even thought the animation interrupted for a second. I thought the panda would still die. That was so close.
Well, look at the numbers again. Gradient lost 2 supply
Yeah,
and a lot of moonworlds.
I was about to say, yeah, the Moonwells saved him, but I mean, yeah, there's still all the mana left here on the 6 heroes that he's up against, but
He should be a little bit more focused on entangling. It feels like he entangles a little too late every time.
yeah, I agree. Now he's, yeah, he's
Oh, you got
he's always changing from
Yeah.
he's always changing from one to the other and back, so I think he should focus on one hero and try to force TP from out of one of these players instead of just switching around. But he hasn't lost any unit here from what I see, so it's great.
Yeah, I mean, the ultimate of the Keeper handy.
Yeah.
But there was just a chance to kill the Keeper. He was entangled. There was like 2 seconds delay until the Dryad dispelled him. And if he would have just done what he just said, like right-clicking, focusing, the Keeper definitely would have died.
Yeah, there's the reveal.
Hmm.
The reveal in orange. Yeah, it's visible on the minimap, which should be, I think, I mean, should be a good sign for Gradient here, because now he knows he can, like, he should know now he can finish orange if he wants to. And I mean, knowing him, he's a confident guy. I think he will feel confident against the elf, despite the arguably worse heroes in base race, but maybe not. All these summits can be very, very hard to beat. Interesting, he is going for the elf, is he? Ooh, and the Tinker! So, yeah, that's a question now. Until, yeah, when does he want to TP? Like, how many Moonwells can he sacrifice for killing a lot of elf stuff? I mean, will we see a Starfall here? I guess now might be the time.
Yeah, there we go.
But right next to each other, yeah, that was bad. That one, ooh, but...
Oh, hero dead.
And
Panda
both,
dead.
where's the other hero? There's the other hero. Wow, that was a very nice focus. It's not easy to, sometimes, if ATP's that far away, to immediately... Like, that was a quick reaction by Gradient, very nice.
Yeah, that's my man. I think now it's the time to just TP back to it. Who just died. You can take care of those buildings with summons and just make sure that you won't lose your own main.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure, because Elf has 2.6k still, and
okay.
And against Tinker, I think I would make really sure to, like, that this main base is dead, and he even leaves the bear here. I really like that. Like, look at the damage.
Yeah, that's so good.
I mean, I don't think it was intentional, but it was good. Oh, and there goes the AM.
There's always a genius behind what Gradient is doing intentionally, and even if it's intentional, there's a genius behind it.
He plays like early game whenever you see him. he Like he feels, oh, the block of the rabbit. Like if you see him fighting earlier, if this panda is dead if he doesn't kill the.
What the fuck is he doing?
Hmm.
No, he's not. Sorry. There's a second panda.
Yeah, I know, but that was the Earth one. He could have just kept him
matter.
alive, and the Earth one is the one where panda goes back to normal.
Okay, I got you. That's true. That's true. He could have just keep.
Yeah, he should have waited. He should have waited and then just kill him.
True.
Okay, yeah, gyros moving to the south, but I'm not sure that's going to change much.
I'm just seeing the Twitch chat. How people are like trolling about Gradient now. Gradient number 1. I told you guys, this is the best seed possible. Gradient on Fountain of Manip.
Yeah, he played some amazing games on this map. Like he's, I mean, my highlight Gradient match of all time still is the Anarchy Castle one, a map where it should be impossible for his style to succeed. But he managed to, like, he lost the first engagement, and then on this super tiny map where you can't build anywhere as Elf, he managed to hide for like 1 hour, and then I think he got like 4 or 5 chimeras again, and then he won the game. That was, I think, the best match. Ooh, but now without AoE against all these gyros, it's annoying. Like, not much you can do against it. Yeah, he's TPing out, and there's not much gold left for Hippos, so he has to deal with it with Starfall, I guess. I mean, that's the best chance. Just go in, use Starfall. Human can't really cancel it. Maybe he should have done that right now. I think cooldown should have been over.
So 87 for Gradient in supply and 34 for the human. Both players are kind of out of gold, but Gradient's overall the richer player in many regards. Don't count out the other elf. He's back on 43 out of 50 supply.
Yeah, and these gyros are very difficult to deal with if you don't have any AoE spells.
Players' forces are under attack.
So I think Gradient, especially since the human is revealed, Gradient needs to get rid of these human buildings ASAP. I think he should just move around maybe. But I mean, his main base is not that big either, so yeah, it's not going to be easy here.
Houston, we've got a problem, because once the elf heroes are back, Gradient could be dead.
Yeah.
Starfall coming.
Ooh, but defensive Starfall I'm not a big fan of here.
Me neither.
Ooh, but the gyro's moving back in. It's a huge
many
deal
gyros.
here.
Yeah. Too many gyros died.
I think there was maybe almost like 10 gyros that died here. That was not what he wanted.
Aye. Something needs to happen. The longer the time passes, the more likely purple or orange will win.
Oh, so much damage, like so many chimeras. I think that's a really good call.
Tinker's back.
Yep.
Now he needs to use taunt. Taunt.
Oof. Like the paladin is always quite far off and almost missing. I mean, you take so much damage against these chimeras, but yeah.
Oh, he lost a lot of gems. 67, 62 supply. Almost every gem is dead soon.
Yeah, that's how you lose 10 chimeras in no time. He needs to get rid of these. At least he's... Wow, nice kill. And yeah, at least he's getting rid of a lot of gyros here. But also, yeah,
That's it. That's it. The human doesn't even want to help. Now it's about purple against blue.
I mean,
oh! Look at the supply. Compare it.
Yeah, 48 against 46. And Tinker is, of course, an amazing hero. If purple gets all 3 heroes out, I think he has even chances maybe. But he needs to move towards that blue main base ASAP. We'll see. I mean, 300 gold against 900, so I would still bet on Gradient at this point, but maybe only because I've seen him winning these scenarios so often. So
Yeah, I would bet on Gradient as well. Even though it should be hard against Tinker on paper, but
Yeah, and
Gradient
also
knows.
yeah, and also and also purple just revealed the Tinker here next to the Moonwell by killing the Moonwell here, so Gradient should know where the altar is. I think it's well located here, but let's see if he finds it.
Oh.
And the Panda has no items ready to staff out, so might be dying here if he moves east.
If he crosses the path, he will die. But Gradient seems to be a little bit like a headless chicken at this moment. And from north to south and from south to north, he's doing
Yeah,
nothing.
that was so lucky here. Oh no, he's changing the way.
A player's forces are
He's changing
I know
direction.
the way.
And yeah, Tinker is moving south here, so let's see how much damage he can deal with just the Tinker, but I think that at least should win him enough time for the Keeper to get out. And something I really dislike about Gradient sometimes that he's not really scouting, like, I don't know, I mean, he's using his summons well, but he's not scouting that well. I mean, you can so easily just scout the entire top of the map if you have summons or if you have some hippos left. And he's not really doing that. Instead, he's just keeping all his stuff together here. What a Starfall.
Nice Starfall. I think the Starfall is important here.
No, it's good. And look at all the stuns here. So Tinker taking so much damage is...
Yeah. It buys time.
Yeah.
It buys time for Gradient to search for more buildings.
Yeah, and I'm not sure he can easily... I mean, he can't easily heal that Tinker if Gradient follows him to the fountain. So... What's it?
Keeper on the top left coming back. Aye.
Has he skilled? I'm not sure if he has skilled summons because it's an old school player. So, as you know, back in the days, players didn't do that. And I think without summons, what's he doing with the Tinker? Tinker is dead.
Tinker!
That's
The Panda just used his ultimate, so there's no possibility for a snap. That was really important, that kill, because if that Tinker wouldn't have died, that would have been triple hero against triple hero.
yeah, I agree. I mean, and he doesn't have the goal to tavern him. The undead was ToX, by the way, and the human was Neutron. So
Wow.
um,
Wow.
so it is Alien against Gradient.
Ha. And
So-
who killed Fox?
Alien killed ToX.
Well, to be expected.
But interestingly, Neutron played very passively early game, so interesting decision.
Yeah.
So that
GG.
was a fun game, like not lasting too long, just 1 hour. Could have lasted a bit longer, but definitely a fun one. And first victory for HS squad.
Yes,
And yeah, that was a good start. So as mentioned earlier, we will have one match every day, 20 CET in the next 27 days. So not sure how many we're going to stream, but I hope we will find a streamer for most of them, and I will be here on most evenings. So
There's one question we need to ask you. Will we even have these games on Christmas and New Year's Eve?
Yeah, initially I plan to, but I think I told some. I will decide by next weekend whether we postpone them, because might make sense. I mean, for some it might be nice to have these games, but yeah, if two teams can't find a player for these days, it may make sense to just postpone them.
Cool. So it is definitely planned from today until the 13th of December to have a game daily at 20 CET.
To 23rd, you mean? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the plan.
Cool.
All right, then. Yeah. Thanks for joining me, and next game tomorrow.
Thanks for inviting. See you tomorrow.
Bye bye.
Bye.